Let's create a baby card together. Hello and very warm welcome everyone. It's Marta here. Today I will share with you this classic recipe for new baby card, but this is design you can also use in so many other projects, whether it's birthday, anniversary, wedding, so it's worth to have in your stash and I hope you're gonna enjoy. Now today I'm going to be playing with this additional ephemera which I've designed to match up with the free collection. The collection I mean is I do in blue, and this is a free printable available on my Buy Me a Coffee page, and this is by far the most downloaded collection in my entire history of designing, so I'm super excited you like it. Now I also designed this little tags ephemera with the like a kids and baby theme to match up, because I thought this will be a nice extension because the collection itself contains ephemera which is more like a wedding wise. Here I'm sharing with you the tip that you can resize the paper while you're printing. So here I printed in 100%, then I've make it smaller to 75%, and then I print a third time to 87% to size, just so I have three different sizes. So then when you make different size of the card, you can sometimes need a smaller label or something, so you have them ready on the go and you can adjust them really to your need. One last thing I want to share before we go to the card making process. Here, if you print those label to a smaller size, you can actually use them as this sticker to seal off your envelope, and this will give you such a nice personalized accent. Imagine someone is opening up this envelope with this little tag and then it's matching up the card. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this idea as well, and you're gonna use it, especially with the digital design. You can reprint them as many times as you like. But of course, if you don't have a printer, you can use whatever papers you have. You can use ready-made design, and this idea will be also working great for personalization. So if you have some photos you would like to include them in your card, this is the great design as well. Now I have a piece of the paper here which this is left over. This is just a regular blue color paper, and I was cutting it with my trimmer, and then it has this like a little fiber flake sticking out, so this is why I'm clearing it with my guillotine. And this is the paper which will decide about the size of my card for today's video. Sometimes I do this type of the reverse engineering, where instead of it starting from the card base, I am starting with the scrap piece I have and I am building my card around it. This particular piece of the blue color paper was 4.5 inch by 7 inches size, or 12 by 18 centimeters. But the size is not the main thing here. You can create the card whatever size you like, you prefer. Here I'm just letting you know that sometimes it's worth to just ditch all the measurements, staying stressed about the card size. You just go with the flow. Here I have this particular piece of the scrap paper I want to use, so I am building my card base around it, and I don't even measure it. I'm just working with my pencil, so then I could kind of trim it, so I have this nice white border all around my paper. And you can see here, once I'm placing it on the top of the card, I have this nice white border. Now here I do have another piece of the scrap paper. Although it's slightly different collection, I wanted to use it because I have this genius hack to share with you. You know, when you sometimes have the piece of the paper with the aperture and you would like to chop it right in the center, here's what you can do if you have a guillotine. Place it along the edge. Just see where is this other piece landing, like what's the measurement showing on your guillotine. Then you put it upside down, you put it against the opening up till this metal edge, and you mark the dot in the exact same place as the other border was showing. So then when you turn it upside down, you can chop right on this little mark you are creating, and once you cut it, you have this equal spacing on both sides. This is so easy, and it's take away all this job. Here I'm just using ruler to double check it and share with you that once I cut it, the both sides were even. This is the only one thing I actually use the ruler for, because I know it's working with the guillotine trick. Here I'm gonna be trimming the bottom piece of this paper, and again I'm just placing it so I'm happy with the position, and then I'm just making a dot. And I encourage everyone to stop chasing the numbers, and I know I've been saying it a lot, but this really brings you the freedom of creativeness. Once you ditch all the numbers, you start calculating, or what measurement shall I cut, what increments to change on my mats and layers. You just focus on this beautiful creative process. Here I have the matching die, which I was cutting this aperture for something else, and I have this double set of spellbinder dies with this scallop edge, and this is something which I really like. I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's just me, but let me know as well, friends, because sometimes when I'm creating the baby cards, I automatically use some scalloped shape dies. I don't know, it's just something. I think I've just like the scallop when I'm scallop edge when I'm thinking of the baby cards. Here I've made a mistake, such a silly like mistake. I've planned to cut the piece of the scrap paper, and I took the smallest die, and only halfway through I realized, like, Marta, you need a space for the larger die here. So it's just silly mistake, but I've left it there because this is just a great reminder for everyone. Like, you're making a frame, always measure from the largest die so you have enough space. By the way, my friends, if you're enjoying my videos, if you like all the tips and tips I'm sharing, please share the video as well. Maybe someone from your crafty friends, from your crafty circle, they will enjoy it as well, and that could be helpful and handy for them to hear some of those tips as well. So here I cut this little frame, and I'm just making sure it's clear because I had this little residue from the sticky tape, and this is such a nice frame. I just love it. And for those of you, my friends, who doesn't have the die cutting machine and you would like to achieve the similar look, there are some scallop edge scissors available. You can buy them on eBay, on Amazon, many stores online, or local craft stores as well. So what you can do, you can actually trace the oval, trace the circle, whatever shape you are cutting, and use those scallop edge circle to cut the frame around it. This is something I've been doing for a very long time. There was a time in my crafting when I didn't have the die cutting machine, and I was doing everything either with scissors, with trimmer. You can still create beautiful cards just with the simple basic tools. So here I'm just double checking the layout, and I thought that it will be looking nice if I will add some stitching edge. And here it's another of my staples. This was super inexpensive. I think my mom, because that's her who actually bought me this piercing tool. This is a leather piercing tool, also known as a tailor knurl, and this one was like a $1 in sewing store, but they also come in online shops. You can find them, and I highly recommend you to buy these, because that way you can actually skip buying all this stitching line expensive nesting sets when you have the tool like that. And behind this paper I was actually using this old cork board, which I've bought in a supermarket for like a $1 or something, so it was super inexpensive. And these few tools, they are really giving me the freedomness of creating, you know, extra shapes, finishing touches, having the stitching line or with the scallop scissors. If you don't have die cutting machine, you can do that as well. So here, this is this frame on top of the image, and as I've mentioned at the beginning, I think I've mentioned that that you not necessarily need to use this ephemera set. You can use anything else for your focal point. If you're creating a baby card, you can use the baby photo or some other like images, something like that. Sometimes you can buy those like a baby magazines, not ma baby magazines, or you can go to the store which are selling the baby items. They usually have those like a leaflets or something. There you can find some inspiration, because some of them are kind of like a artsy, not the photo, and you can find some inspirations to have some extra bits to use as the focal point. Or if you're creating this card for different occasion, like an anniversary, you could use the happy couple photo as well, and this will be great as a personalized accent. So once I'm happy, I have all these elements ready, I am assembling my card, and by adding this simple stitching line, I am getting so much more dimension on this element. And even though I will adhere it flat to my card, it will be just looking dimensional. Here, this teeny tiny hair inch, which I just cut out from my paper, just so I have it nice and professionally finished. I always highly recommend you to use the guillotine for cutting rather than scissors, even though it's sometimes way faster to snip something with scissors. I rather grab my guillotine, because this is what gives me this professionally finished look, because my hands are not as steady to cut this 100% straight line. Here I have a little bowl with some extra pieces from this I Do in Blue collection, and that was this free ephemera elements to fussy cut. And although they are wedding, there are some bits which I could grab for the baby card, like this present, butterfly, floral composition. This will be working great here as well. And I also decided to use this little baby shoe, which I thought it will be nice accent for the welcome baby card as well. To fussy cut my element, as always, I am holding my scissors steady, and I'm just turning around the element I am fussy cutting at the moment. This is always gives me the best result, and I highly recommend you to have this little tiny white border, because this makes the job easier. You don't have to fiddle to be exact on a shape, because this border is actually what allows you to have like a little mistakes and not be 100% even. Here I have some sentiments, and these are also coming from one of the collections I had on my Buy Me a Coffee page, but you can use some stamp, you can use whatever sentiment printed or stickers. And also this card will be great for personalization. You can add like a baby name or date of the birth, or some other details if you're creating this card for different occasion. Here I am just backing up this two sentiments, says new baby and congratulations, with the same blue color paper, which I've used underneath the design paper. And I think it's just making everything look so nice and cohesive. And because for my new baby cards, like a welcome baby cards, I usually like to add a little extra personalization. For today's project, I'm not gonna be actually adhering those sentiments permanently. You will see the quick solution in a minute. But firstly, one last thing I love to do, I love to use my floral design papers to actually fussy cut the flowers, which then helps me to fill up the composition, to have some extra elements to put on my card. So now everything is ready to assemble, and I'm just using the hot glue. I find that this is the easiest way to attach all the ephemera pieces, because the glue is not only instantly grip, it will give me a little extra room to wiggle and also give me this nice dimensional for effect for my pieces. They are not like super flat. Here I have this nylon bow cord which I am adhering on top of the floral composition, and then I will hide it behind this additional flower which I cut from the directly from the design paper. And as I'm saying, if I want my elements to be pop up a little bit more, then I am adding just a little extra layer of the hot glue. Here I have the butterfly. This is actually reused from different card, which I didn't like it there, so I just rip it off. I place something else on the other card, and then I have reuse it here. And last but not least, something I already mentioned, I am adding those repositionable glue dots to adhere this sentiment temporarily, because I want to show you the finished card, but then I can change it whenever I need it. And sometimes if you sell your cards online, like if you show them to a public, you can actually do this trick on your photos for like Facebook, Instagram post or something. Adhere your labels temporarily, and then when you need a card, you want to use it for a specific friend or occasion or something, you can actually very easily switch the sentiment for the personalized one. So here is a little close-up look on this card. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it sparks some joy. And tomorrow I have another video from this like a kids card series, but we're gonna be using these elements to create the card for the girl, and this is gonna be on the 4th birthday. So I hope that this is gonna be interesting for you as well, and you join me for another video tomorrow. So thank you once again everyone who's watching my tutorials. I'm wishing you all a fabulous day. Stay blessed, my friends, and bye bye.